Hello there, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. From today, we're going to begin looking at a series of beers from a rather new Japanese craft brewer, and it's located in a rather remote location as well, and that is called Second Story Ale Works, and they are based in Tokushima, which is one of the prefectures in Shikoku, the island off to the east of Honshu, and they're actually located in Tokushima City, but way outside in the southern part of the city and kind of in a very rural part. So I guess Tokushima City must be rather large and includes kind of a lot of the rural area. They started in 2018 and they began bottling from November of 2019. Second Story, where does the name come from? Well, they started in the second floor of a garage, which is the second floor above the garage of the owner's parents' house. If you go to their website, you can see some photos of that. And they mentioned that it was not really a brewer-friendly location at first, so I'm not sure how well they have adapted, but I guess they're putting out a lot of beers now. This was founded by two people, a man named Pat Brown and his wife, who the wife is the owner, Pat is the brewer, and apparently he began homebrewing in 1993, quite a while ago, and decided to start a brewery when they returned to Japan from Bend, Oregon, which is probably the biggest little small town of brewers in the world. It's a small town in the middle of Oregon, up in kind of the mountain area, but there's so many breweries there. That's where Deschutes, for example, got its start. Bend, Oregon. I've been there once for a few days and looked around. It is a really nice town. So they returned from Bend, Oregon to Japan and began brewing. Also took a university brewing course, apparently when he was in the US. And they like to use local products, especially local fruit and local wheat and things like that. So there are, I can think of at least 3 breweries in Tokushima now, which have started fairly recently. The one that probably has the most well-known is Kamikatsu, and the other one is it Kamiyama? I can't remember the name. Anyway, they're not too far apart from each other in Tokushima area. So we're going to look at several beers from them, and I'm excited. I've heard a lot of good things about them. The recent issue of the Japan Beer Times will feature, or the next issue, I guess, will feature an article on this brewery written by a friend of mine. So I'm kind of looking forward to these beers. Okay. And now, shall we take a look at the last of the Second Story Ale Works beer that I have with me. And it's, I think, a special one probably. It is called Ale Works Farmhouse Americana 2019 in May of 2015. And in our last video we reviewed this one, which was Farmhouse Japonica 2019, and now we're going to take a look at the Americana, which is the other version. Excuse me. And the Japonica had Pilsner malt, brown rice, Vienna, and rye malts, and Hallertauer Blanc hops with Laurel and Cascade. This one it's similar. It has Pilsner malt, rye malt, but also they've added some sour malt to the mix, and that should make it a little bit interesting. This one also has Laurel hops and Cascade, but it has cacao hops from New Zealand as well, which is with some kind of tropical note, maybe with some stone fruit added. The other main difference is this one, the Americana, has black pepper, which is different. The Japonica had sansho pepper, which is a spice used in Japan and Asia. And in Japan, it's often used with eel and dishes like that. Okay. The carbonation, as with the other one, is forced carbonation, not natural, in order to make, they claim, make the carbonation lower and make the mouth feel richer. But I found the carbonation quite high, and very interesting. The Japonica was a wonderful, wonderful beer. This one is also 8%. The IBU is slightly different, 20 IBUs versus the 25 for the Japonica. So 20 IBUs, International Bittering Units. On Rate Beer, this one had, when I checked, only one rating. It was at 4.0 out of 5, pretty high. And Untapped, 15 ratings, 3.8 out of 5. So this beer was made in 2019, May, and has been aged for well over a year. And it was added to Rate Beer on September. I guess it was released in maybe August or September of this year, 2020. I'm not exactly sure, but I think we need to give this one a go. Nice little farmhousey picture with a pig in front. Okay. The Japonica had a chicken out in front. This one has a pig out in front. What do we get? What do we make of that? Bacon versus tori. Okay, let's open this one up. This is a rather large, hefty bottle. I'm having this in my double glass. I'm not sure if it's entirely appropriate, but can't be bad. Double glasses do produce a lot of carbonation. Maybe you know that double glasses have a D, a letter D etched in the bottom, which kind of tends to produce carbonation. Okay, I can smell the Brett yeast right away here. Oh my goodness, yeah. My goodness. So saison and Brett yeast. Yeah. Oh boy. So the Brett comes through a little bit stronger than it did in the Japonica. Yeah, I do get a kind of tart sourness even in the nose. You kind of feel this is going to be like sour, ripe celery, like tsukemono, pickles. And there's a primary note. Okay. Well, okay. It starts off a little bit gentler, I think, than the Japonica. We do get something like apricot. Peach. Now the black pepper, I'm not noticing it right now, but just as with the sansho, I didn't notice it until after several sips. So I'm going to wait and see when that kicks in. Carbonation is quite different here. The Japonica was really flowing up. This one is too, but not quite as much. It's a nice clear, very clear, medium gold straw. The Japonica had some Vienna malt in it. It was a little bit darker, I think. So rather frothy sort of head. Put this through the light and see what we get. Very pretty beer. So it could be that sour malt is giving it a little extra jump here, but the yeast is really coming quite through. Lightly tart, some mild bitterness in mid, and I think the pepper is starting to really pick up in the mid palate and finish. This is a very tasty beer. It feels a little bit wilder, maybe less refined than the Japonica, the other version. Pleasant as can be, though. This is a marvelous beer. Really, it's got the nose just comes up and says to you, I'm stinky, I'm wild. It's not as rude as some of them can be, but it's got its own presence about it. This is a wonderful beer, and I hope they make it again. Yeah, I hope they have already made it again, are aging it and getting it ready to bring it out maybe next year at some point. Yeah, maybe late summer next year we get a new version of this. I really hope so. Okay, this is absolutely wonderful. Again, it's called Second Story Ale Works Farmhouse Americana 2019 saison from Second Story Ale Works in Tokushima. And this is the last of the beers I have from this brewery, and I definitely do plan on ordering more. He's only been making beer here for about 2 years or so, but I think you can safely say they're certainly one of the better new breweries in Japan. And with these beers, a lot of breweries find their way before they start doing wild beers, aged beers like this, and they started out right away doing that, and so it shows some confidence, I think, experience, and just with these two right here, and what else I've had from them, I would probably put this brewery in my top 10 in Japan as of right now, definitely. So go check out Second Story Ale Works. You can order from them online on their website, and try them out. I think you won't be disappointed. Well, that's it for this series from this brewery, Second Story Ale Works, and we're going to be moving on to another brewery, which is one of my favorites in Japan, Kyoto Brewing. I have a set of 11 beers from them, new beers for me from them, and we'll start those in the next series. So I hope you tune in for that. And subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. If you've had Second Story Ale Works or you know about them, please talk to me. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.